Well, I fired up my truck and hit the back roads. Got my old guitar and some dusty records in tow. Found a neon jukebox by a rusty silo. Dial back time and let them country legends show. There's Hank on the honky-tonk sounding mighty fine. Patsy and Merle making that jukebox whine. Dolly's story spinning like a reel-to-reel rewind. Every note and melody like good whiskey aged in time. Oh, it's a country music time machine, taking us back to where the grass is green, with twangs and tales from days gone by. Let's ride those old trails beneath the open sky, in our country music time machine. In our country music time machine.
That's just incredible. That's incredible music, don't you think? You know, even if it was created by AI. I guess that's the only thing about AI that I like, that I could make a jingle for the country music time machine. Hey, everybody. Good evening to you. This is Kevin, your old pal, the dude that always tells you to keep it country. I thank you so much for tuning in. For those of you tuning in live, I really do appreciate that. And those of you that may tune in a little bit later on, I enjoy your company as well. It is Christmas Eve, and the Country Music Time Machine is live, and we are in Franklin, Tennessee right now. I don't know where you're at. I hope you, for the folks joining us, please pop down in the comments below where you're dialing in from. I do want to give a shout out to one person that actually connected with me 2 days ago. And let me put my glasses on because I am an old man and I've got to be able to see these things. I'll show it on the screen. It'll probably cover up my face because I'm a knucklehead of this software. But I want you to see the comment. This was the first person to comment. Maria Brown. She commented from New Jersey. She says, I love your channel. Merry Christmas to you and yours. Maria, Merry Christmas to you too, my dear. Thank you so much for tuning into the Country Music Time Machine and being online as well. And I want to say hey to Michael Murphy. He was the first person, actually, when the show began, to chime in. And I see folks from Toledo, Ohio. The Dragon Lady. I need a lady in my life. Maybe I need a dragon lady. We got also Colorado Springs. It's probably colder in Colorado Springs than it is in Franklin, Tennessee, just south of Nashville. Probably is. And I bet you it's cold in Maine because it's freaking really cold. I watched that. What's that TV show that comes out of Maine? Like something Justice, where they go hunting animals and bad guys. I don't know the name of it, but it's a great show. You know, got some Massachusetts there too. But thank you everybody for tuning in. And you're probably wondering why I'm doing this. Well, a few days ago, I didn't make my mind to do this until a few days ago. And I'm a divorced father. I've got 4 daughters. And let me bring up a picture. Let me put my glasses back on because I'll just keep them on because I can't see crap without my glasses on. And I've got 4 daughters and I'm divorced, been divorced a long time. So when you live in that type of lifestyle, you know, you got to plan everything out. And I realized I was going to be alone on Christmas Eve. And I said, no, I don't have to be alone. I can be with you guys. You guys can keep me company. We can talk about country music. We can talk about a lot of different things. And I got some things lined up we're going to talk about. I'm going to show you things. We got some guests coming in. Not live guests, but they're guests. Okay, some of them are dead, but, you know, they're still guests. But, yeah, I spent my Christmas Eve earlier with my daughters. That's what you see there on the screen, left to right. That's Allison, or excuse me, that's Gracie on the left, then Allison, then the old man, me, then Melanie and Alexa. We had a great time together. And, of course, the one at the bottom is my very first rockin' little country girl. That is Vanessa, my first grandchild. So I'm really excited about that, you know. So thank you all for joining. And I want to tell you this before I get Blake Shelton here on stage, I got to tell you this because it's important. I do have a giveaway. You know, I'm not a rich man. You know, I'm not getting rich off the country music time machine. Rich in friendship and rich in country music, yes, but not with money. But I am going to give something away tonight. And this is what I'm going to give away. Let me get out of the way. The guy just jumps right up in front of me. No, you don't get the guy, but you get the shirt. Now, the rule is you've got to type into your comment section CMTM, and I'll be gradually, at times, checking the comment section and see who puts it in there. And near the end of the show, we're just going to randomly pick one. We got a piece of software that does it legally, so I'm not cheating or anything. And you'll get that T-shirt. If you're a lady, you'll of course get a ladies T-shirt, whatever you want. But whoever wins, I'll touch base with you privately, and I'll get that to you. So again, you don't get the guy. You only get the T-shirt. Type in CMTM into the comment section. Okay? If you can do that, you will most make my day. You will just make my day more than you can ever believe. I see that Fox Fur has got it in there. Jeff's Guitars has got his comment in there. Pop Jeff Guitars on the screen. Maybe Jeff could actually teach me how to play a guitar. You know, been trying all these years. But yeah, pop CMTM. Remember, don't be a cheater. This is Christmas Eve. You know, you can't. You know, Santa Claus is coming tonight. You can't cheat on Christmas Eve. If it types it in if you type it in 2 times, you know, it'll only count it as one. And you know, so don't try to cheat. If you misspell it, it won't count. So don't be like me. Don't misspell things. Before I let Blake Shelton give you a Christmas greeting, you know what I got to do. Can anybody guess what I'm getting ready to do right now? Let me see if anybody knows. Let me see. Just watching in the comment section. If you know what I'm getting ready to do, type it in the comment. Please don't type anything, you know, lewd. There you go. Dragon Lady knows. Dragon Lady knows the Country Music Time Machine. And I got it right here. And I love you, Yankees. Just in case you Yankees don't know how to do this, this Coke and these peanuts from a Franklin, Tennessee gas station were $3.50 today. And that's freaking crazy. Anyway, it went back like that in the old days. Let me see if I can get it in there. I had to get more than that. So you Yankees, if you want to make your Coke and peanuts, just put a few of them in there. You don't have to shake it up or anything, but oh man. If you haven't done that, I want you to get in your, now, after the show, get in your car, head down the road, and buy some Coke and peanuts and get some Coke and peanuts. One fellow that I know who has drank Coke and peanuts before is a guy named Blake Shelton. I'm getting ready to play a very short video from Blake. I hope you like the video. I don't really like it very much because, you know, the young kids nowadays they invent so many crazy words. One word they've invented is cringe. And I guess cringe means you get the icky feeling inside. That's what cringe means. But I wanted to show you this Christmas greeting video from Blake. And Blake, if you're out there watching, either live or when I replay this, we're having fun with you, my friend. But I want you to watch this. This is very incredibly interesting.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the bar, everyone was listening to touch tunes both near and far. Whiskey and gin, vodka and beer, cheers, it's Christmas, and Happy New Year.
Oh, good Lord, Blake. Yeah, give you a little background on that video there, you know. Blake, I think he recorded it years ago, and he, of course, got paid to record it. And, you know, it's cringy because he's talking about beer and booze and touch tunes. Let me tell you what touch tunes is. Touch tunes, in case you don't know it, There are a lot of them around Nashville, here in Nashville. But Touch Tunes is the new age version of a jukebox. And you go up to it and you put too much money into it and you touch it on the screen and it'll play your songs. So that's what Blake Shelton was doing there. But thank you, Blake, for giving us a greeting. Got a lot of folks online, a lot of folks commenting. Don't forget, as you come in, pop in where you're from, because I want to see how far and wide we go tonight. We've gone from Colorado Springs to Maine, of course, here in Tennessee. I hope my mom is watching, in South Carolina, over there near Myrtle Beach in Conway, South Carolina. Not sure she is, but I hope she is. But I one thing I love about this channel is your comments. There's just thousands and thousands on there. And sometimes we quite often share the same griefs about country music and where it's going or where it's been. And, I love reading your comments. I do read every single one of them. I don't respond to every single one of them. Then I would have to quit my day job. But I respond to as many as I can. But I wanted to give a shout out to these folks as they cover up my face. Every week in the community spotlight, it talks about some of the biggest folks that are commenting and engaging in the country music time machine. So a shout out to Glenn Lego, Evil Genius, a great YouTube handle, JCat, Richard Weaver, Corey Beaver. Thank you, folks, for tuning in, because every week YouTube shows me who the people are who are engaging most with the country music time machine. And I do appreciate you guys so much. And I appreciate all of you, because it's you folks who have made Country Music Time Machine as big as it is. And let me give you an idea of what we've done. I was in Japan recording some stuff for the Country Music Time Machine a couple of months ago. And in Japan, when I got there, I was taking a look at the statistics of the channel, and gradually it's grown over the months. But for some reason, in September, it just frickin' took off. I think part of it had to do with the Crazy Country Songs series I did. I don't think it has a whole lot to do with my personality, but it had a lot to do with that, and a lot of folks engaging. But the views are just getting off the charts. We're averaging about 1.2 million a month now. We're close to about 4 million in total. We've got 18,000, or almost 18,000 members of the Country Music Time Machine, crew members anyway. So I appreciate all you folks, because you make it fun, you make it cool. I'm going back over here, checking out the comments. I see Rita from New Jersey. There's Foxford dialing in again. See, I'm learning how to use this stuff here, so please forgive me. It's Rita Harris. My name is Rita. I am from New Jersey. We got a lot of folks in New Jersey tonight. Wow, it must be snowing and ice cold in New Jersey or something. But we thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Rita, and I will tell my daughters you said howdy. Got some folks from Bay City, Michigan. There's Charles Bowman. I hope he's not... Is that from your car, Charles? I can't tell. Hope you're not driving right now, man. You might wreck watching me, Of course, the Fat 55 tunes in here and says the best country music Christmas album for laughs is Ray Stevens. Ray Stevens is probably another big reason Country Music Time Machine took off, is because he's funny. He's a legend. He's still playing down the road here. He tries to go out there every Saturday night and put on a show. Thank God he's still with us. And it's a big reason. And the other big reason is because, people love country music. And I love the history of country music. And, the Country Music Time Machine, as far as I have found, the only place that can go where we go through a categorized way of looking at country music history from 1940 all the way to 2024. Now, if you were to look at statistics of the channel, 1940 to 1969 are the biggest years. And you might think, oh, it's just a bunch of old folks tuning in and that's what they like. Well, that's part of it, but a lot of young folks are watching those videos. Why is that? Why do you think that is? Well, if I were to use my brain, which I don't have much of it, but if I were to use my brain, I would say it's because country music has changed a heck of a lot in the last few years, and folks are, you know, just some are getting upset. And we'll talk about that a little bit more later. Here is Julian Santaguida. I hope I said that Julian right. I'm a huge country music guy. I like Blake Shelton's music. I'm from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, Kevin. Thank you, Julian. Thank you for tuning in from Canada. I've been to Montreal 2 times. Montreal's a cool town, too. Another Canadian, Canada is the number 2 biggest tuned in country for the Country Music Time Machine. Number 3 is Great Britain. Number 4 at my last check was, I think it was New Zealand. Number 5 was like a tie between Norway and Australia. So if somebody's up drinking right now or still up drinking, what time is it in Australia? Well, it's probably what? Well, it's probably like 5 in the morning. I'm not exactly sure. And hello from California. That's from Carolyn Layton. And she says, love your kennel as there is no local clunt. I'm not sure. You write like me, Carolyn, because sometimes when I'm typing my daughters, they have no idea what I'm saying when I'm sending them messages. But Carolyn, thank you for tuning in. I am born in California, too. I was born in Victorville, California, if you know where that is. That's sort of, if you see Los Angeles, set a little bit, what is it, south and east. There used to be an Air Force base there. My dad was stationed there, and that's why I was born in California. So I'm looking at my my cue cards here and getting ready to play something pretty cool for you. These segments I'm playing are not going to be long, and I got to warn you, I am testing things out here. Give you an idea of how this stuff works. When I play music on the Country Music Time Machine, almost 99% of it is copyrighted. That means that I can almost always play it, but when I play it, I get zero money. The folks down on Music Row in Nashville or Universal Music Group 2 blocks away from me, where I'm sitting here in Franklin, they get the money. Hopefully the artist and the songwriter get some of that money too. And so when I play music, all the videos, almost all the videos I do are not monetized, meaning I'm not getting rich. The ones where I don't play the music, yeah, I get money for that. Not a lot, but hey, I can buy the Coke and peanuts. That's what's most important. So I just want to warn you, I'm going to try to play this clip, and I hope it plays. The YouTube, censorship may come out here and muted or something. You guys let me know if it's muted. Hey, I got somebody from Conway, South Carolina. I just saw that in the chat. I've got to bring that up. Conway, South Carolina is God's country. That's where I was raised before I moved to Nashville and started doing country music stuff. Anyway, getting sidetracked. Hello, Conway. Let's talk about Christmas. I told you why I'm doing this, but I have, for the last 23 years, most of my time I have been spent traveling overseas. I'm probably going to do a video about that in the future, about why I left country music industry and started working for Uncle Sam. I may do a video about that in the near future. But anyway, for the past 23 years, I've been overseas. And quite often, there's some Christmases I could never come home. I haven't been home for Thanksgiving in quite a long time because of travel. So, the song that makes me think of that, missing folks, is Blue Christmas. And especially to our hardworking men and women of the military who are serving overseas right at this moment, and they're doing it for us Americans anyway, and protecting us, and it's a huge sacrifice. So I salute them. So right now we're going to go back to, I think this is 1977, if my memory serves me correctly. I think this is what it is. And it's from the Johnny Cash show. It's with the incredible Statler brothers. Let's take a listen.
Had some good times in the service, but I didn't really know what lonely was until Christmas time came around overseas, thousands of miles away from home, and I missed home, missed my family, and a young lady or two.
Do you remember who they were?
No, I don't. Don't remember. No, I'm not going to tell you. But there's a song that brings those memories back, and I'd like to do it. I'll have a blue Christmas without you. I'll be so blue thinking about you. Decorations of red on a green Christmas tree won't mean a thing if you're not here with me. I'll have a blue Christmas, that's certain. And when those blue heartaches start hurting, you'll be doing all right with your Christmas of white. But I'll have a blue Christmas. I'll have a blue Christmas without you. I'll be so blue thinking about you. Decorations of red on a green Christmas tree won't mean a thing if you're not here with me. I'll have a blue Christmas, that's certain. And when those blue heartaches start burning, you'll be doing all right with your Christmas of white. But I have a blue Christmas. Blue Christmas without you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Johnny Cash, Statler Brothers. Let's give them a big hand. That was good stuff. You saw me. I was actually singing in the background, and I hope that my mic was muted because I sound nothing like Johnny Cash. So if my mic wasn't muted, I'm incredibly sorry. That was a great song, 1977, the Johnny Cash Show. We're going to have another segment of the Johnny Cash Show coming up. You know, when you listen to Blue Christmas, especially that version of it, the Elvis version, of course, is a big one as well, you know. And want to put Jeff's guitars back on the screen because he says Merry Christmas to all active military and veterans. And seeing Johnny and the Statler brothers with those U.S. Air Force uniforms on, because of course Johnny was in the Air Force in World War II, around that, or at the after World War II anyway. And if you watched my video about military veterans that I did, you will remember that I told you the story that Johnny Cash was a Morse code intercept operator, and he is believed to be the first person to intercept the communique from the Russians that said Joseph Stalin, the dictator of that era, had died. So Johnny Cash is legendary, historic for many reasons, and that's another reason. But when we listen to Blue Christmas and Johnny Cash and the Statler Brothers, we think about, you know, what we call traditional country or classic country. Now, when was it? Was it last week? This episode came out. I'm going to pop it on the screen. 2024 in country music history. You know, I ran down what's happening, and you guys can pop your comments right now about what you think about 2024 in country music history. I'm going to see. Let's go live to see what George Strait thinks of 2024 in country music history. Yep. I'll let you guys read that. I'm not going to recite what Whiskey Riff is saying there, but, you know, I did watch that awards show, and if you are a lover of classic country, it may be hard to deal with. Let me click over to the comments section. Let me know what you think. Do you like the new country? Do you miss the old country? Do you think that the new country has gone too far? Pop, rap, hip hop? Pop it in the comments down below. You know, because I'd like to hear from you and see what you think, because we've got a lot, I mean, thousands of comments from folks, young and old, you know, talking about the direction of new country music. And my issue with it is this. I did a episode earlier this year called What Happened to Country Music. And it wasn't necessarily meant to be a negative episode about country music is going wrong. But even since that episode came out, it has been different. And, you know, it's been different in a sense that a lot of the music coming out now in country music is not recognizable to people that have been listening to country music for years. Now, tomorrow, there's going to be a football game. I can't remember who's playing tomorrow, the Christmas Day game, but singing at halftime is this woman. I think that's Beyonce. Her cowboy hat looks like something you'd put on a Christmas parade float. But, you know, Beyonce was named the Billboard's top female artist of the year, which just blows my mind when you have, you know, people out there like Ella Langley and Lainey Wilson and so many other great ladies who put out some great country music. But Beyonce gets it. The problem with this is Beyonce is super talented, a beautiful woman with a lot of talent. And I said this in my other video. She made a decision not to sing a traditional country music song. She did that because she was tuned into her fan base. Now, what does that do to traditional country music? If too much of this happens over too long period of time, it could dilute country music. And my problem with it is too, because artists like this come along, those more country music sounding or traditional country music sounding, historically country music sounding singers, they have no job. They can't feed their families. They're not being heard. They're not being, you know, discovered. And, you know, Beyonce has the talent to sing a really traditional country song. And if she could do something like that, you know, she would blow people away. And not only that, she'd get a new fan base, but she would also help encourage other artists, whether they're black or white or Latino or whatever they are, to sing country music. She decided to do that, not to do that. She actually said, this is not a country album. This is a Beyonce album. Well, Beyonce, if you're expecting country music fans to love you, hey, reach out and do some country music. I do want to say that of all the people that have come across here lately doing country music, the one I probably like the most is probably Post Malone, because Post Malone actually has a lot of talent. There's a few songs, including one he did with Blake Shelton, It's a pretty close to country song. You know, it's not 50s, 60s, 70s country, but, you know, the lyrics, the beat, the melody is country music, you know. So let's bring up some comments, see what you guys think. Jeremy Bellamy says new country is okay, but old country is better because I saw the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville. My first time, I was shocked in person. Yeah, if you get a chance to go to Grand Ole Opry, you should go. It's pretty good. Foxfur says, I miss the good old country music. King, George Strait, Garth Brooks, Reba, Tricia were the last of the good stuff. Yeah, probably going to have to do an episode about what in the heck happened in 1999 because there was a seismic shift in country music after 1999. So many artists went away, you know, and, you know, and it still blows my mind to this day. I may have to look into it, you know, as much as I can. Let's bring up one from Julian. I think Dan and Shay did really good songs, all had collaboration with Justin Bieber. And the song 10,000 Hours in the music video was excellent. Thank you for that, Julian. But whatever happened in 2000 was a seismic shift in country music history in general. And, you know, I did an episode the other day called Whatever Happened To. Just curious if anybody'd like it. Well, you guys liked it. So coming up, I think it's next week, if my memory is good. I'll be featuring some new artists, or you know, new artists. They're old artists, but you know that we wonder what happened to them. Let me take off the Julian comment here so you guys can see the whole thing. On this next episode, we're going to cover Confederate Railroad, Pam Tillis, and Red Akins. And, you know, some interesting stories about what happened to them, especially the bottom right of that screen, Confederate Railroad. They were into some big, huge controversy. We're going to cover that. We're going to talk about that. And we're going to continue to get your input on whatever other artists you'd like me to hunt down and see if I can find. We couldn't find Ricky Van Shelton, you know. He's out there. We still think he's somewhere in Virginia, but we couldn't find Ricky Van Shelton. But, you know, we still have his music. Thank God for that. And he was one of those many artists that after the 90s went away that sort of faded away. And we do sometimes wonder why that happened. But anyway, we got more good episodes of good things coming up, including this episode, Drinking Songs 4. I'm not much of a drinker. Other than, I hope you didn't hear that. I just burped a little bit because Coke and peanuts will do that. As I drink some more. But the Drinking Songs series is a fun series. You really don't have to be a drinker to like drinking songs and country music. So if you haven't tuned into those, you should. You should check them out. If I was smart enough, I'd put a link on the screen, but I'm just still figuring out how to do this. So I'm just going to tell you about it right now. And I haven't recorded this episode yet, but country stars who are actors. You can see on the screen, I've got Lainey Wilson, Chris Christopherson. There's Kenny Rogers there. I think that's Gene Autry down there, but he's covered up. Dolly Parton, Tim McGraw, Roy Rogers there. We're going to cover some of the country stars who are also actors. We're going to have some of their acting scenes in there. And I don't know if I include Blake Shelton in that, because I don't know if Blake Shelton's a really good actor. A lot of country stars have done some acting, and it's always been interesting. And another episode coming out tomorrow, and I hope you guys do tune into it, because I had a whole lot of fun making it. It's about golf. One thing I love to do is play golf. And even when I'm playing golf, I'm listening to country music. Actually, when I don't listen to country music and I play golf, I play worse. So this is my golf speaker. It's strapped to my golf bag. And when I am on the links, I am blasting George Strait, Alan Jackson, Merle Haggard, George Jones. And as I told you, I travel. And because of my job, I have to travel a lot. And I was down in Belize not long ago. Hello, Belize. Anybody from Belize tuned in? Love you guys. Miss you guys. And I got on the golf course and I cranked up the country music and I played the 9 holes of country golf. And we had a fun time. I'm going to play you just a little bit of just the intro clip to it now to just give you an idea what it looks like. Let's make our way to hole number 1. The first hole of the 9 holes of country music right over there. Not so fast. Don't kill me here. I want to live to the 9th hole of country music history. Just pull it up like to the side here. We're getting ready to tee off here on hole number 1. I got my clubs ready. Just want to show my bag here. Alexa, film my bag here. USA bag here. I even have my USA flag. Clean my balls on. I know some of my military friends may say, "Oh, Kevin, you can't clean a club or a ball with a USA flag," but you know, please forgive me. And also for refreshments, we have the country music time machine water bottle, or at least a water bottle with a country music time machine sticker. Well, that is not award-winning, I don't think, or Academy Award-winning stuff, but I want you to tune in tomorrow. That's coming out at around 1:15, 1:30 Nashville time, I believe it is, for the 9 holes of country music. If you heard that clip I played there, any Bobby Bear fans out there, that was Bobby Bear's Green, Green Grass of Home playing in the background. Now, let's go check some comments here. I see Gracie. I know her. That's my daughter. And Gracie's supposed to be trying to dial into the show tonight. And if you pay attention to the Country Music Time Machine, there's also something out there called the Pop Music Time Machine. And I can never do this right. Gracie, my daughter, is the host of the Pop Music Time Machine. So if you're into pop music, the history of pop music, please tune into her. We recorded the 2024 episode yesterday, and that was fun, you know. Now everybody's saying hey to Gracie. I'm seeing if she's going to dial in or not. Reminder, let me bring up that handsome fellow again. Giving away that, I'm not giving away that fellow. Giving away that t-shirt. The fellow you have to find on your own. If you want to win that t-shirt, in the comments section, type in CMTM, and you might win that t-shirt. We'll have a random drawing near the end. I hope I don't forget. If I get ready to close and I haven't given it away, somebody yell at me and say, "Kevin, shut up and give away the t-shirt." Anyway, so type CMTM into the comments section. The AI, the Skynet, or whatever they do, will randomly pull it up and make somebody a winner. You know, I'm looking at the comments section here. A lot of good stuff. Let's pull this one up. Erla Durant. I've been a country fan all my life, and I'm 70 plus. Started out way back then. I'm also a fan of Alan Jackson, Blake Shelton, Johnny Cash, June Carter Cash, Hank Williams Jr., and she's coming to us from Kansas. Erla, thank you so much for chiming in on that. I'm right with you. I love all the ones you mentioned right there. Some of the new ones, not so much, but I love a lot of the old ones. But I love a lot of the new ones too, you know. So yeah, I see some folks chiming in with the CMTM message to see if they can win that t-shirt. Also want to say hello to everybody listening and watching. Actually, I'm not on the radio anymore. I get confused sometimes. I think I'm still on the radio, but listening in Honduras. As some of you may know, I speak Spanish too. I speak Spanish. I speak English, Southern English mainly. I speak Portuguese, and I speak Russian, you know. So a little bit of Spanish for all you Spanish-speaking folks out there and everybody in Honduras. Gracias por para verme aquí en la pantalla en YouTube. Gracias, tengan un buen día y feliz Navidad. So yeah, we got people all over the world. We love it. We're proud of it. We're happy about it. Yeah, keep the CMTMs coming in on the line there as Tesla just did. And we're going to take note of all this stuff. I love reading your comments. Gracie is telling me to. Oh, I see J-Cat's on there. Ooh, cool, J-Cat. Gracie's talking to everybody. Gracie's saying, stay alive, stay alive. My dear, I'm 56 years old, and that is my goal in life, is to stay alive. I think she's telling me to stay live on the channel. I'm at number 11 on my 19 points of this show, so I thought it was going to go an hour, but like always, I run my mouth too much. And let's bring up this comment. This is from the Sycamusman, sitting here on my birthday with a jar of moonshine. Wow. You know, I had someone try to get me to try pineapple moonshine when I was in Belize. Wow, that was some. I sipped it just to know what it tastes like, but, you know. Anyway, but I love the comments, and I want to cover a little bit about some of the crazy comments. I actually did an episode on crazy comments. I've had a few out there, and I get some every day, but not many. I mean, if I get 1,000 comments, one of them are going to be, Kevin, you're an idiot. And quite often I agree with them, or Kevin, you talk too much. But probably the worst comment I got over the entire 2024 year was this one. And I want you guys to read this comment. It's from Ange. I actually got this comment over on Elon Musk's X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. Let's bring Ange back up again. The host could smile a little. He tells us these funny and crazy country songs, and he looks like a grumpy sourpuss. He should be laughing. He looks more like a funeral home director. Wow, Ange. I think you need to talk with Muka Moccasin and get some moonshine from him, because you need to chill a little bit, my dear. You know, I ain't a handsome guy. I know that. I ain't no Brad Pitt. I accept those things in life. I don't think I am, but one person said I was. Jesus. I think you are very handsome, and I've certainly seen many funeral directors, but not you. Well, thank you, Jesus saves. I agree with you. Jesus does save. I don't know if I agree with you that I'm handsome, but anyway, I've had a lot of morning men in radio make fun of me on the radio, and that's fine. If it makes comedy, it makes comedy. But you know, we're giving a bad rap to funeral directors. And I know quite a few funeral directors who are a heck of a lot more handsome than I am. And here is Daryl Dykes chiming in about that. Not all of us funeral directors are sourpusses. Well, Daryl, I agree with you. You're not sourpusses. And to me, you look like you're a handsome fella too, you know. I mean, God bless you. But I guess the biggest comment I get is this. This one came from Glenn. Stop talking so much. We want music. Shut up, please. And Marlena Lena says, good God, man, shut up. And I try to answer every one of those comments by saying this. I do talk a lot in these videos. But this channel is about the history of country music and the stories behind that history of country music. So in order to relate that history and relate those stories or my encounters with these country stars, I have to talk about it. So quite often I only just play part of the song. So it gives an idea of what I'm talking about, the era we're in, and the top songs of the era, or the top drinking songs or the craziest songs. But I do have to talk about it. So in a sense, I do apologize to all of you out there if I talk too much. But you know, we're having fun and the channel's growing, and I do appreciate that because that is cool to see the channel grow. Now, we're going to play a little bit of music now, and I'm going to shut up for a little while and make a few people out there happy. We'll come back and start looking at the comments again. This next song will get you in the Christmas mood. But it comes from a guy that I had in an episode called The Bad Boys of Country Music History. Because historically, this dude was bad. Jerry Lee Lewis. He was bad not only because, and maybe it was common back in the 50s, but he married his 13, 14-year-old cousin. He was also pretty crazy. I mean, he was basically, at part of his life, stalking Elvis, you know, outside the gates of Graceland. So, but there's no denying Jerry Lee Lewis was a musical talent. Now, you might think, well, Jerry Lee Lewis is a rock and roll dude. Well, he's mainly rock and roll, but he had some country hits too, and some of his stuff did cross over to country music. And I really like this Jerry Lee Lewis song. Going back to the Johnny Cash Show, 1977. This is White Christmas.
Well, I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know. Where those treetops glisten, you know, children used to listen to hear those sleigh bells in the snow. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, with every Christmas card I write. May your days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmas be white.
Well, thank you there, Killer. That was the Killer. That's what he liked to call himself, the Killer. Jerry Lee Lewis with a great song, White Christmas. And no, here in Tennessee, it did not happen once again this year. No White Christmas. So anyway, let's pop over to the chat area, see what everybody's up to, hanging out, see if Dragon Lady is keeping everybody straight. I'm just reading over these, you know. Jeremy Bellamy says, I'm in the walleye capital of the world, Port Clinton, Ohio. Ohio is cool. We got Peggy there from St. John's, Northern Ontario in Canada. And Gracie is just chatting with everybody there. And keep it going, Gracie. Bring up Fox Fur's comment here. It says, I love country music. I love to listen to it and sing along. If all you can play is snippets and tell me the artist and title, I'll have enough to go look for it and get blasted my eardrums away. Yeah, and that's what you do. And that's what I tell people. Support these artists, support these songwriters, and I guess support the industry. But songwriters and artists are my primary concerns. Support them. You know, show them your love, you know, go to the areas where you hear them. But remember, even when I play 30 seconds or 1 minute of a song from Blake Shelton's going to get money. Kevin's not going to get money, but Blake Shelton will. And I'm glad that I can play his music, you know, and I'll be playing more of it in the future too, you know. A reminder once again, for those of you just tuning in, we're giving this t-shirt away minus the guy tonight. If you want a Country Music Time Machine t-shirt, you got to type in CMTM in the comment section. If you do it twice or 3 times, it only counts once, because the Skynet AI will catch you and just mark it once. So, and if you're a lady, you don't get the guy, but you can get a lady's shirt. I'll just privately chat with you. Just don't leave after the show is over if you know you won, and we'll arrange to get your address and send you. Always do it wrong. That guy. Whatever. All right. Christmas traditions. My big Christmas tradition is usually Christmas Eve. When I was a boy and I was a kid, we would always, have dinner on Christmas Eve night. That was our thing. And we opened presents, what was from the family. Santa Claus would come later, of course, and we enjoyed that. And Christmas Day was really a lazy day to watch football and things like that. There's a lot of different Christmas traditions out there, and country stars have their traditions as well. Let's tune in to a few traditions from some of our favorite country stars.
What's your holiday tradition?
I am planning on going to see my family 1 week at Thanksgiving, 1 week at Christmas, which is the longest I've got to go home for a long time. But
I really slow down and I have time to go home and just recharge, cut firewood, work on my ranch.
Man, we love Christmas. Our Christmas lights went up yesterday.
Yes.
And
an early
we'll probably leave them up till January. And but my whole family goes to our farm, and we all spend Christmas there together. So
we eat a lot. We go to my grandmother's house and we all get together and eat. Then we take a break, take a nap, and then go back and eat again. And I'll probably sneak off and climb a tree somewhere and get in the woods. And
as a kid, we loved just, the holiday, especially Christmas, was magical. And then the older you get, it's like, it's more about giving, right? It's more about giving. Oh, I just want you to have this. And now I get to watch this through my own kids. I get to see their faces light up, get to open presents. And that's what I'm really looking forward to.
We go ice fishing. That's a real thing. And it's pretty fun.
And then Christmas, here in Nashville, there's a place called the Belcourt Theater. And whatever family's in town, we always go up there and cry our eyes out and get ready for Christmas.
Well, you could dye your beard white and come down the chimney.
I can tell you that, man. If this music thing flops.
Good stories from those country stars. Maybe I'm getting old. Some of those, I don't even know who they are. I know the classic, I love country music history, but to be terribly honest with you, in the last, say, 10, 20 years, I have not listened to the newer stuff as much because I still love the old stuff. Yeah, I'm just I'm just an old fella. Anyway, Christmas traditions. Of course, especially if you're a kid, one of the most favorite things is opening presents. And, I got two cool presents this year. My daughters gave me a box, a golf ball in it. There's a golf ball and a tee and grass inside, and it says on the outside, in case of emergency, break glass. I guess you could have put a Jack Daniels bottle in there too, and it could have meant the same thing. I got something else. I got a cool shirt, and I got some deer antler coasters with deer on it and antlers coming up. But as we were opening the presents, I was watching my grandchild, my 1-year-old Vanessa, messing with the paper and going through the paper, and it made me think of this song, and I wanted to play it today. Now, this song has been recorded by many people, and my favorite version is probably Willie Nelson, but this is a close second. I want you all to enjoy this song and recognize the vocal ability of the fella who sings it. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Roy Orbison.
Pretty paper, pretty ribbons of blue, crowded streets, busy feet, hustled by him. Downtown shoppers, Christmas is nigh. There he sits, all alone on the sidewalk, hoping that you won't pass him by. Should you stop, better not, much too busy. You're in a hurry, my how time does fly. And in the distance, the ringing of laughter. And in the midst of the laughter, he cries. Pretty paper, pretty ribbons of blue, wrap your presents to your darling from you. Pretty pencils to write I love you. Pretty paper, pretty ribbons of blue.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is just pure musical ability. Just good stuff. Always loved Roy Orbison, and he has always done a great job singing. And he is among the many we do miss a lot. Just checking out the comment section here. I saw, bring up one from Foxfur. Foxfur says, my oldest son was born on Christmas Day. As a family, we opened gifts on Christmas Eve and hid his birthday gift on his birthday, Christmas Day. Birthday dinner, cake, presents, and he doesn't get cheated on gifts. Yeah, I guess if you get your Christmas present and birthday present same day, that's pretty cool. But you could have a mama that said, well, it's your birthday too, so we're just going to put it all together. I'm sure that's happened before too. Jeremy says, my church does a Christmas program, Bible by the book. I usually work on Christmas and going to family. That's what Christmas is supposed to be all about. Not all the commercial stuff, not Beyonce singing on the Christmas Day football game with a big cowboy hat that looks like a parade float. Checking out other ones on here. See if there's anything cool. Somebody thinks I'm doing a great job. I don't agree with you guys. I think I'm just making it, It's the weird thing. I was thinking before I did this today is what I don't like about this. I wish I could click on your picture and turn your camera on and turn your microphone on. But that's really hard to do in this type of format. Because back when I worked in radio, and I worked in country music radio for almost 20 years, when I wanted to talk to someone, they would dial on the phone and I just hit a couple of buttons on the board and bring them up. So it is different having to look at what you're writing as I'm trying to think what I'm going to say and everything. So it's different. But boy, I'm having fun. And I'm glad that y'all think I'm doing an okay job. And I'll take that as a Christmas present myself. But telling stories, is, whether it's in the comment section or whatever, is a big part of Christmas. We grew up with it, whether you're in church or your mom and dad were telling stories. But I remember when I was in church, and I think this was the New Hope Baptist Church, back when I was a little boy. It's probably the first time I heard this. What else I like about this is almost 4 minutes long because it gives me a chance to go to the bathroom. Thank you very much. So I'm going to play this, and I'm going to sneak out. You'll see me go off camera and go to the bathroom, but let's pray I come back in time. I will, I promise. But it's a great one. I put it on the channel a few days ago and got a lot of comments on it, a lot of likes on it, but it's a great story done by a country legend. Grandpa Jones, I remember him first by cleaning that fake window on Hee Haw and then sticking his hand right through it. Hey, Grandpa, what's for supper? But most people don't know that he was an incredible banjo player and an old-time country music singer. But boy, was he a great storyteller. And that's why we all can refer to Grandpa Jones as Our Grandpa. So as I sneak out just for a second, let's sit back, relax, enjoy a good story from our grandpa, Grandpa Jones.
It happened one day near December's end. Two neighbors called on an old-time friend, and they found his shop so meager and mean, made gay with 1,000 boughs of green. And Conrad was a-sitting with face a-shine when he suddenly stopped as he stitched the twine, and he said, "Old friends, at dawn today, when the cock was a-crowing the night away, the Lord appeared in a dream to me and said, I'm coming your guests to be. So I've been busy with feet astir, strewing my shop with branches of fir. The table is spread and the kittle is shine, and over the rafters the holly is twined, and now I will wait for my Lord to appear and listen closely so I will hear his steps as he nears my humble place, and I open the door and look on his face." So his friends went home and left Conrad alone, for this was the happiest day he had known. For long since his family had passed away, and Conrad had spent many a sad Christmas day. But he knew with the Lord as his Christmas guest, this Christmas would be the dearest and best. So he listened with only joy in his heart, and with every sound he'd rise with a start and look for the Lord to be at his door, like the vision he had a few hours before. So he ran to the window after hearing a sound, but all he could see on the snow-covered ground was a shabby beggar whose shoes were torn and all of his clothes were ragged and worn. But Conrad was touched, and he went to the door, and he said, "Your feet must be frozen and sore. I have some shoes in the shop for you, and a coat that'll keep you warmer, too." So with grateful heart, the man went away. But Conrad noticed the time of day, and he wondered what made the dear Lord so late, and how much longer he'd have to wait. When he heard a knock, he ran to the door, but it was only a stranger once more. A bent old lady with a shawl of black, with a bundle of kindling piled on her back. She asked for only a place to rest, but that was reserved for Conrad's great guest. But her voice seemed to plead, "Don't send me away. Let me rest for a while on Christmas Day." So Conrad brewed her a steaming cup and told her to sit at the table and sup. But after she left, he was filled with dismay, for he saw that the hours were slipping away and the Lord hadn't come like he said he would. And Conrad felt sure he had misunderstood. When out of the stillness he heard a cry, "Please help me and tell me where am I?" So again he opened his friendly door and stood disappointed as twice before. It was only a child who had wandered away and was lost from her family on Christmas Day. Again Conrad's heart was heavy and sad, but he knew he could make the little girl glad, so he called her in and wiped her tears and quieted all her childish fears. Then he led her back to her home once more. But as he entered his own darkened door, he knew that the Lord was not coming today, for the hours of Christmas had passed away. So he went to his room and he knelt down to pray, and he said, "Lord, why did you delay? What kept you from coming to call on me? For I wanted so much your face to see." When soft in the stillness a voice he heard, "Lift up your head, for I kept my word. 3 times my shadow crossed your floor. 3 times I came to your lowly door. For I was the beggar with bruised cold feet, and I was the woman you gave something to eat, and I was the child on the homeless street. 3 times I knocked, 3 times I came in, and each time I found the warmth of a friend. For all the gifts, love is the best. I was honored to be your Christmas guest."
That is just great stuff. We need more we need more Grandpa Jones in this world right now. Maybe they're out there, they're just not getting the coverage they need. But, in this crazy world we have, gosh, I wish we had more of those out there. And we don't. And J-Cat chiming in. I want to thank J-Cat, because J-Cat, I watch his comments, and J-Cat actually keeps me honest quite often. I'm not perfect. I'll screw up sometimes. Sometimes I'll write out these scripts for these shows or these episodes I do, and sometimes I will read it wrong or get it wrong, and and J-Cat keeps me honest and gives me good ideas. I thank J-Cat, and you folks like that. That's why I like to read the comments, because it's great conversation. But great telling stories, great, heart of Christmas, listening to stories by the fire, and quite often in church, Here's a good comment from Julian. I think Julian's up in Canada. When I was a kid, I loved Christmas music, like all of the Christmas songs, but my favorite Christmas song was You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch by Thurl Ravenscroft. A lot of people have done that song, and sometimes I think in my mind I can pull off the Grinch voice, so I'm going to try. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. Oh, God, that was really bad. That's about like when I try to pull off my Australian and English accents on the Country Music Time Machine. It usually makes people sick. Anyway, telling stories Christmas Eve. What is probably the biggest story told on Christmas Eve? 'Twas the night before Christmas. No, I'm not going to tell you that story because you know it, but I'm going to have somebody here that's going to tell it to you. Starting off with Billy Ray Cyrus is going to start this story. And I knew Billy long ago, far away. Maybe one of these days I'll get into the Billy Ray Cyrus stories. Back when Miley was just a baby. She wasn't... Never mind. Anyway, 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, a traditional Christmas story we all love to hear. Now let's hear it from some of your favorite country stars.
Hey, I'm Billy Ray Cyrus, and this is The Night Before Christmas.
'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that good St. Nicholas would soon be there.
The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mama in her kerchief, and I in my cap, had just settled our brains for a long winter's nap.
When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from the bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters, and threw up the sash.
The moon on the breast of the new-fallen snow gave the luster of midday to objects below. When what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer.
With the little old driver so lively and quick, in a moment I knew it must be Saint Nick. More rapid than eagles, his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name.
Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer, now Vixen. On Comet, on Cupid, on Donner, on Blitzen, to the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Now dash away, dash away, dash away all.
As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky. So up to the housetop, the coursers they flew, with the sleigh full of toys, and St. Nicholas too.
And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound.
He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack.
His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry.
His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard of his chin was as white
as the snow.
The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth.
And the smoke it encircled his head like a wreath.
He had a broad face and a little round belly.
Oh, that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly.
Oh!
So he was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf. And I laughed when I saw him, in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread.
He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk, and laying a finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod up the chimney he rose.
So he sprang to his sleigh, and to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim as he drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night."
Well, thank you, Garth Brooks, and everybody else. K92.3, I think that is, Orlando, Florida. We had to get into the time machine and go back mighty far to get that one, But that was pretty cool. Enjoyed listening to it, and I was queuing it up earlier today. I listened to it for the first time and just loved it. And remind you one more time, because coming soon, we're going to give away a t-shirt near the end of the show. And of course, you got to be live to get the t-shirt. You got to be on the channel anyway. And, if you're watching this after the fact, got some peanuts in my throat, of course. If you're watching this after the fact, you can't win. You can watch it, So I enjoy you watching it. If you're watching the recorded version, let's pull up a comment here from Jonas Hogland. Hi, I'm Jonas. I'm from Susan Moore, and I'd like friends Rachel, Monica, Phoebe, Joey, Chandler, and Ross. I think that is Friends. Thank you, Jonas. That's a great show, Jonas. We'll have to go back in the country music time machine and go back to the 1990s and see if Friends had any country stars on the show. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, I want to give you one more Christmas. This is my Christmas gift to you. If you haven't seen this video, you are in for a treat, because I dug and I found this video. And I'm going to let you watch it, and I'm going to let you decide who you think it is. We're going back in the country music time machine in 1985 to the You Can Be a Star show in Nashville, something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was. It was so long ago. My memory doesn't stretch that far. And I guess there was a fella in the audience named Al, and they thought he could sing. Let's see if Al can really sing.
With Al, who's going to do a little bit of singing. George, this is one of my favorite songs. He stopped loving her today.
He said, I'll love you till I die. She told him you'll forget in time. And as the years rolled slowly by, she still preyed upon his mind. He kept her picture on his wall. Went half crazy now and then, but he still loved her through it all, hoping she'd come back again.
Keep singing, Al. We're going to be right back to find out our winner today. You Can Be a Star.
The bad thing about that video is, that was Alan Jackson, all right? They didn't know Alan Jackson would become such a superstar that he has. But if you hear a guy singing that well, a George Jones song, don't go to commercial. Let him finish the song. So I always thought that was incredible. All right. This is your last chance to put in your CMTM If you have not, type in CMTM into the chat area, because I'm getting ready to see if I can pull up this thing that will show me who is going to win. Let me just go over to the other screen. Yeah, I think I can. All right, let me see if I can do this, folks. I'm going to try to share my screen here. Okay. Okay, can you folks see that? Can you, somebody type into the comments down there if you can see where it says CMTM on the screen? Somebody type in the comments, because I can't tell the way I look at this thing. Okay, thank you, Gracie. All right, I'm going to go back to this screen. Thank you, Sika Musman. I wish I could say your name. Thank you, Carolyn. I'm going to click the button over here now, and I'm going to click draw. It's going to go through all these folks and see who wins the t-shirt. If your name is drawn, please. I mean, if you're not on, if you get drawn and you're not online, I think I can still get in touch with you, I believe. This is a new deal. I'm trying to figure it all out. So let's hit the draw button. Well, congratulations to Julian Santaguida. If I remember correctly, Julian is from Canada. So the first winner of anything on the Country Music Time Machine is from Canada. Julian, I want you to stay, even when I close this thing out, I want you to stay in the chat. Even when I end the thing, stay in the chat, because I want to try to get your I want to try to get your address. That's what I need to try to do. So once this is over with, stay in the chat with me, my friend, and I'll send a Country Music Time Machine t-shirt to Canada. All right, let me remove that from there, put this ugly guy back on the screen. You know, one of the common things when I was young, Christmas Eve, was getting messages from important people wishing a Merry Christmas. And I'm going to play two now. These two messages, they're not new. We had to get back in the Country Music Time Machine and go back in time a few years to get one. I checked before going on the air with this show to see if I could find a message from President Biden wishing everyone a Merry Christmas. I couldn't find, or at least nothing I could download. Trump is currently not president. He'll be soon, so don't have a new message from him. But I wanted to play a message from Biden. It's short, and from Trump, it's short as well. You may be a Biden fan. You may be a Trump fan. But I think the key thing to remember here, no matter what political side of the aisle you're on, at Christmas time, we should come together. We should try our best to be kind and to love each other. And that's why I'm going to play both of these videos, first from Biden and then from Trump. And just to give you an idea that they're, even if it's brief, sometimes we just love each other and we're just talking good words. So going back a few years, I had to edit this clip a little bit because he was talking a lot about COVID, but I edited it, put it together, and the same message is there, spreading kindness, love, and joy. Ladies and gentlemen, here's President Biden.
Christmas, happy holidays. Jill and I wish you and your family peace, joy, health, and happiness this season. But we know for so many of you in our nation, this has been a very difficult year. And we're reminded in this season of hope, our common humanity, and what we're called to do for one another. Many of our fellow Americans are struggling to find work, literally put food on the table, pay their rent or their mortgage. We're reminded we're on this earth to care for one another, to give what we can, and to be a source of help and hope to friend and stranger alike.
On this holy day, we remember that love and joy can be shared across the farthest distances.
So from our family to yours,
Merry Christmas and
happy holidays.
Well, thank you there, President Biden. Let me remove you from the room now. A good message. Again, you could tell part of it, things he was referencing to was COVID, but I really couldn't find, I don't even know if there was one from last year that was made in that fashion. But since we have a new old president coming back into office in January, Donald Trump is never shy to talk. I couldn't find a new one from him either. Could have came out since I started this show tonight, but here giving us some Christmas greetings. And again, remember this is, going back a few years, maybe some slight reflections to COVID, but here is President Trump and First Lady Melania.
President and I want to wish every American a very Merry Christmas.
During the sacred season, Christians celebrate the greatest miracle in human history. More than 2,000 years ago, God sent his only begotten Son to be with us. An angel announced the birth of our Lord and Savior to humble shepherds. He said, I bring you good news that will cause great joy for all of the people. Today in the town of David, a Savior has been born to you. He is the Messiah, the Lord. You will find a baby wrapped in clothes and lying in a manger. At Christmas, we thank God for sending us his Son to bring peace to our souls and joy to the world.
During this wonderful time of year, we also give thanks for the brave and selfless Americans who keep us safe. We are forever grateful for the men and women of law enforcement and the heroes of the United States military.
In this holy season, we thank God for his infinite love, and we pray that the light of his glory will forever shine on this magnificent land. On behalf of Melania and the entire Trump family, we wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thank you, President Trump. Let me remove President Trump there from the screen. And I want to thank all you guys for joining me tonight. This was a test. This was an experiment. See how things go. I thank you all for chiming in. We had folks from Canada, Honduras, California, South Carolina, Ohio, New Jersey, of course, Tennessee. Always country fans in Tennessee. And I want to thank you all for joining me tonight. Remember, Julian, you stick around with me a little while, my friend, so I can get your address and information from you. For the rest of you, may God bless you and your family. Thank you for watching the Country Music Time Machine. And you never know, you may see me here again soon talking to you live. On the way out, I want to play a very special segment from the 1970 Johnny Cash Christmas show. He's got Mama on the piano, and they're singing a great rendition of Silent Night.
I hope you did enjoy our special Christmas show. Of all the shows we've brought you, it's the one I enjoyed doing the most. To celebrate, I believe, the most important birthday we know, the birth of Jesus of Nazareth. And from the bottom of my heart, I wish that there will always be peace on earth and goodwill toward men. Good night. Merry Christmas.